Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, August 2nd, 2018. Fire potential impacts for the next few days include dry gusty winds coming to Idaho and western and northern Nevada for Thursday, Friday, and then expanding a little bit further east into Utah on Saturday. We'll also continue to see a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms over mainly Utah, eastern Nevada, and up into southeast Idaho and western Wyoming. These thunderstorms will decrease in coverage over the next couple of days and will move into a drying pattern into the first part of next week. A fair amount of lightning was observed yesterday afternoon, especially over eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and portions of northern Utah and northern Nevada. These storms were generally on the dry side, producing less than 1/10 of an inch. Advanced fire behavior continues to be observed on many of the large fires across the northern half of the geographic area, with the continued very dry conditions in place there. Some new initial attack fires were picked up yesterday from the lightning activity that moved through eastern Idaho and northern Utah and northern Nevada. These images show the precipitation for the past 14 days. We're still showing that trend of a very dry pattern across Idaho, northern Utah, and northern Nevada. This dry pattern is having an effect on our ERCs, popping those values into the 90th and percentiles and above. This is the case for Idaho, much of northern Utah, and northern Nevada. Not much relief is expected, especially to Idaho and northern Nevada. Utah may see some precipitation today, which should decrease these values across the north. Taking a closer look at those values compared to normal for this portion of central Idaho mountains, those values are near the historical maximums for the time of year and bumping up on the 97th percentile. And for northwest Utah, we're setting new historical records for the time of year and coming in above the 97th percentile. Recent sagebrush live fuel moisture samples are shown here for southwest Idaho and northwest Utah. These values are below normal for the time of year, and for this muskrat station actually sitting at the historical record for the 20-year period of record. This morning's satellite imagery shows the center of the high pressure continuing to be located over the desert southwest. This is keeping temperatures very warm across the geographic area and allowing that moisture to rotate on through eastern Nevada and Utah today. We can also see the trough of low pressure moving into the Pacific Northwest, which will increase wind speeds across Idaho and western Nevada. High-risk triggers have been issued for the wind for Idaho and western and northern Nevada today. We can also see moisture moving up through eastern Nevada and into Utah, and we could see a better chance for a wetting rain here and there this afternoon. Those wind gusts are shown on the image on the left, with the strongest winds in place over eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, with some gusts also over western Nevada and northern Nevada. The wind gusts in Utah will be associated with thunderstorms causing outflow winds. The image on the right shows the expected precipitation throughout the day today, with the heaviest amounts expected over the mountains of northern Utah. By Friday, a drying trend will set in, and the bulk of the moisture that's in place over Utah today will move off to the east. We'll still expect to see gusty winds and low relative humidities over Idaho and western and northern Nevada, and have issued high-risk triggers for that event. Strongest winds remain over eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, but we'll see those gusty westerly winds in place pretty much everywhere across the geographic area, and we'll continue to see gusty outflow winds associated with any thunderstorms that develop over the higher elevations in Utah. The drying trend continues into Saturday with dry southwesterly winds moving in to much of the geographic area. These winds will still be fairly gusty in western Nevada on Saturday. Those winds will also pick up over southwest Utah as the moisture moves off to the east. The 3-day precipitation totals are shown here, with the best chance of precipitation coming to the mountains of northern Utah in the next 24 hours. The drying pattern continues on Sunday and into the first part of next week as southwesterly flow picks up across the geographic area. We'll see this deep area of low pressure developing off the Pacific Northwest coast, and this will keep that increased southwest flow in place over the area. More of the same is expected on Monday, although winds could ease up just a bit. And by Tuesday, we'll begin to see the center of the high pressure moving a little bit further north and west, traversing the Great Basin. This will cause temperatures to remain quite high, and conditions will be dry across the geographic area as the center of the high pressure moves further north over the Great Basin. The 7-day precip totals are shown on this image. The bulk of this precipitation is expected to occur in the short term, particularly today and to some extent on Friday. The extended forecast from the Climate Prediction Center is showing above normal temperatures in place over Utah and Nevada for the second week of August, with below normal chances for precipitation over Idaho, and maybe a little bit of a return of southerly moisture to the southern tip of the Great Basin. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.